Good evening and welcome to the Effect Podcast live stream of Alien role-playing game. Sorry for the lack of a game a couple of weeks ago. Half term here in the UK and holidays and everything else conspired against us, but we are back with Alien: The Colony, episode 8. Just quickly introduce, I think you know them all already. So on my left, or right as you're looking, we have Frank. Down there, we've got John. The other way, Tony. And then over this side, we've got the usual miscreant that is Matthew.
The usual miscreant? I feel offended.
I'm just making this up as I go along, mate. So, you know.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Can I interject and suggest a thing? Go ahead. Yes, we missed out last week. If you'd like to be kept informed of when we're playing and given advance notice as soon as we start putting these things in, then what you need to do is like this video, subscribe to this channel, and press the notification button. That's what all the pros on YouTube say. But I'm saying it too now. And then you'll get notifications when a thing's happening. And possibly when a thing isn't happening as well. But I don't think so. Carry on, Dave.
Thank you. Right, so let's press on. Episode 8, The Devil Lives in Still Waters. So what's the story thus far? The colony of Solovetski Island has weathered so many storms. Unrest amongst the people, the terrible outbreak of the zombification spores, the loss of the science outpost, Kursk, and the spectre of a United America's hostile takeover, not to mention the worsening weather as midsummer came and went. Losses have been severe, with up to 15% of the population dead and no inkling of how many are suffering silently. But the colony pulled together to make good after the disasters of their first full summer on 1 Iota Scorpii. Even Zenaida Ibeck has been released into the colony to help while she awaits her transport to serve out her sentence, with the agreement of her victim's partner, Fishani Vadine. As the dead have been gathered, mourned, and sent on their way in a variety of memorial and funeral services, attention has turned to those who have not yet been recovered, the lost from Kursk Outpost, deep in the Gintsha Strait. But Supervisor Lykanova, fearful of any remaining infection at the outpost, and with higher priorities closer to home, has vetoed any recovery mission for now. Perhaps naturally enough, this hasn't gone down terribly well, especially for those with family and friends left behind. The recent good morale and rising spirit seen in the aftermath of the outbreak was wiped out in a moment, but Lykanova has remained resolute. As such, a faction has arisen, a faction of workers and functionaries, nicknamed the Noisy Gang. They claim that the leadership is failing the colony, and the biggest sign of this is disrespecting the honourable dead, heroes of the people who have died for the people and the colony. I'll just get you now to introduce yourselves briefly in character. Let's start with Oscar.
Right, Oscar Prishka is one of the agrarians who came onto this mission to basically make this a viable planet. He's a bit of an idealist, and he's not as a jaded socialist as some of the other people here. Yeah, that's probably about it. Oh, and he's famous for his tractor. He's got a customized tractor.
Has that got like big flame decals down the side?
No, it's extra sober, but very functional, very well maintained.
Okay, let's stick with UPP for the moment. Tony.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dmitry Ivanovsky. I'm a UPP scientist, mainly geologist by trade, but with fingers in other pies. Thinks I should be higher up in the scientific hierarchy of the colony than I formally am.
Cool, thank you. Comrade Inspector Shu.
Well, I'm Comrade Inspector Shu. I'm the hero of this story. No, I'm not. I am a disgruntled policeman who has been given this posting here because I probably upset somebody back towards the core worlds. I am a firm believer in the socialist ideals of the UPP. I hate corruption. But at the same time, I recognize that sometimes you have to take a pragmatic approach to achieve your long-term aims.
Excellent. And last but not least, Ash, our LaSalle man. John.
He's frozen.
A bit frozen.
Okay, he's frozen in shock at the excellence of the UPP staff around him, I guess. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what happens if you've got capitalist network systems.
Okay, well, John is playing Ash Campbell, and Campbell is a LaSalle executive. He's one of the... he's not the most senior, but he's, I think, got aspirations for advancement. But I won't speak too much for John, whilst he is obviously hanging on the line.
And we may be joined by Will Lodgson. I can't remember what his character is. He may be joining us later. He hasn't turned up for the start.
Will is another LaSalle executive, Dmitry Orlovsky, his name is, but he's a LaSalle corporate man.
Is his name Dmitry as well?
I think it is, yeah.
Everybody calls him Orlovsky.
Orlovsky, yeah. So I think Jonathan might be back because we needed to do a little bit of explaining for Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan's back.
Hello, there we go.
So I've introduced
Hi,
you
everyone.
for you, Jonathan, whilst you're gone, but feel free to go do it yourself.
No, I trust whatever you said. Company man for LaSalle Bionational. Apparently a bit of a pushover. Well, we'll see how that goes as we continue on.
I expected you to use thumb a bit.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. So we do need to have I think I need to have a little bit of an update for Jonathan, who wasn't around for the last scenario. So having escaped from Kursk Outpost and having been infected with the spores, you and your colleagues were immediately put into quarantine. Whilst you were in quarantine, the infection spread throughout the colony, and there was trouble, and there was rioting, and the people were locked in their rooms for their own protection. Some of them were locked in their dormitories, which meant they were locked with 20 or 30 other people, which for many of them didn't go down terribly well, especially when some of them started going berserk, like those infected have a tendency to do.
This is all just a little too close to home for us, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a lockdown theme, definitely.
There was, yes. But unlike the government here, who were probably trying to be a bit cautious, Tony just decided to turn off the oxygen to knock everyone out.
Yeah, because they were going crazy. They were going to attack people and kill them. If we put more to sleep, then
safety of the colony as a whole, I'm sure that casualties were reduced. And I know my comrade Commissar, it was his decision finally, and I think he took the right one. But also there was interesting things. Ash, were you with us? Or no, I think it was Paul who was with us when we went to retrieve a what do we call the vehicles? I can't remember.
Tractor?
A dipper.
Oh, dipper.
A dipper from the sort of the Sargasso seaweed that had been trapped in there.
Mm-hmm. I was there.
You were there.
I remember.
Well, we discovered that had gone out there specifically to send a tight beam signal into orbit.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And no, you didn't. And that tight beam signal included, after my colleagues here, including Dmitry, I think you helped solve it, it included the DNA sequence of the fungus that we were dealing with the infection.
Plus, it was encoded with the United Americas cipher.
Oh,
It was a key.
The broth thickens.
How do you guys know about that?
Because we're good detectives, Ash Campbell, because we're good detectives.
So what then transpired was that there were certain people on the base who were conspiring with the United Americas and encouraging a distress signal to be sent for help, which I think the guys there sort of concluded or deducted would lead to a United Americas force coming to support and help you out of the problem, but then might never actually go away.
So obviously it was vital to find out who was behind this. And we suspected for some time, forgive me, Dave, I can't remember his name, but
Ivan Suvorov.
Ivan Suvorov, who was the effectively the shop steward.
He's the workers steward, on the command team.
Is he the one that you accused, Inspector, and he punched you?
Yes. I accused him and he punched me, and I took the punch like a man. How long ago was this, Dave? Am I still bruised? Do I still have a good bruised cheek?
No, this is a few weeks now. No, I think you've healed up now. Unless you want to just keep banging it, make sure the bruise never goes away. Yes. So after all of that, there was a race against time to find a cure or a vaccine against the spores, which was successful. Everyone has now been cured of the infection, and the infection can now be controlled if somebody gets it again in the future. But there were quite a lot of deaths. There were 20 or 30 people died as a result of the whole situation. So, but moving on.
Okay.
The four of you are brought before Supervisor Lykanova and Director Senna in a quiet way. You're not sort of called over the tannoy. You're sort of rounded up by their minions, and they come straight to the point, and they say, "Well, as you know, I know you know, Kursk Outpost is lost. Everybody who was there is presumed dead, or is almost certainly dead. There's been no power output from it since the infection started, and you left, Campbell. Were any of the others of you there for that incident?
I wasn't.
No,
I wasn't.
No,
just Campbell. Okay. So there've been no communications. We assume that the generator is offline. Any residual battery power must have been burned out by now. You've obviously heard the clamour for a recovery mission, which we have denied. We don't think there's going to be much of infection left, but and we have the antidote for it. But it's too big a mission for us to undertake right now.
The spirit of Tony was, but Ivanovsky was not.
Yeah.
Yes. Tony was there, but Ivanovsky
as God. Yes.
Ivanovsky.
So we don't think there's anything to be gained by going there right now, and bringing back mutilated bodies of the outpost team, just as we're trying to recover. That's not the kind of setback we want to give to the people. But there's a problem. We, against all the odds, we have received a signal from Kursk. There's no voice or data. It was just a beacon pulse. It was very weak. We've got no idea who sent it or how they sent it. We can only assume that it's a distress call of some kind.
I'm really sorry. My internet kind of awful.
Okay, are you not catching any of this, John? I guess not. So are you hearing me now, John? No.
To switch on your subtitles.
That would be a useful thing to have, actually. Okay, well, let's press ahead. If we have to lose John because of his internet, then maybe Campbell just can't bear going back there, perhaps.
Yeah.
So the signal was broadcast on a wide band across all the signal, all the range of the spectrum. We don't think anybody else has picked it up, but there's no reason that they couldn't if it was broadcast again.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to get to Kursk quietly and check out the situation for us. If someone is still alive there, you must effect a rescue and come home as heroes. But if not, come back quietly and report to us quietly about what you found. Do it quickly. We can't be sure that those from the noisy gang won't launch a rescue operation anyway, even without hearing this signal. But if they hear this signal, it's inevitable that they will. And we don't want people running off there willy-nilly doing getting themselves into more trouble.
All right.
So are we sure these noisy gang haven't already tried to, or are not already on the way there to try?
To the best of our knowledge, there's as far as we know, there's nothing like that's been done yet.
Have we made an inventory of the dippers, since we seem to be not brilliant at keeping track of those?
Yes, procedures around dipper allocation and dipper control are much tighter than they were.
Good.
Excellent.
A vital resource. What could I set off this this beacon? Is this a standard emergency beacon, or is this something?
Yeah, an automated thing that goes off when there's a loss of power or something, or just on emergency power.
Well, I think the power has been gone in that place for several weeks.
Yeah.
We've got no clue. There's no
rescue pod that normally would have one of those on it that might just have been, don't know, being submerged or something.
Maybe someone just recovered spontaneously from this infection. Maybe someone managed to stay out of the way of the others and not get killed.
Maybe. But really, we are being sent, if I understand this correctly, into a hotbed of infection, and just to see whether anybody's alive.
I suggest we go in.
It doesn't like us, Oscar.
We suspect that the people who were there must be dead.
We suspect.
Without power, then you will need to take compression suits. You will need to take spare air, because it's quite possible that the atmosphere under there is not going to be breathable.
Yeah, because I guess without power, the air wouldn't get recycled, would it?
No.
Is the detail you revealed earlier about the signal for the United Americas, is that actually something I would know? That is generally known, or is it just the tightest circle that know this?
I don't think it's generally known unless Shu wants to tell you, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's probably been kept quite. I suspect it's been kept very tightly, actually. So if you are going to tell them, Shu, then you're probably breaking some protocol in doing so.
Shoot.
Yeah, I would be inclined to keep it secret for a moment, but I always like to have information that I can say to gain trust of individuals at opportune times. So for the moment, I think Dimitri and I would have agreed not to mention it to anybody else.
I might ask the question differently then. Is there any chance that somebody came from off-planet to that Kursk base and is now sending a signal?
Now we've
seen no signals to suggest that. We do have obviously some air traffic control. We're not scanning permanently, but we would probably pick up if another ship would come down.
A ship would come down, yeah.
Not scanning permanently, not even since the since that rogue satellite we discovered.
Investigations.
I'm saying this publicly in front of Oscar, but
investigations are in hand with that, Inspector. But we're not detecting anything in orbit that we hadn't expected to be there.
Good.
Right.
So proceed, please, gentlemen, because time is pressing.
What kit can we requisition? Can we bring a flamethrower?
So definitely take enough compression suits for everyone.
We can. Inspector Shu, I think you can probably use your authority to requisition stuff without drawing too much attention to what you're doing.
Now, can I just player to GM understanding?
Mm-hmm.
We now have, all of us, the antiviral or antifungal injections that will prevent. So we don't need to go in spacesuits, compression suits.
If the power has failed out there, life support might have failed out there.
Yeah, so the air might not have been recycled for.
So we do need compression suits. I was rather hoping we could use the police body armor, but I will take advice on that.
Take what you feel you might need, I guess, is the advice.
How many dippers do we get?
I think you just take yours Oscar.
Okay.
After all property is theft, Oscar.
Of course.
Take the one that is currently in your care, Farmer
Exactly.
Prishka.
I'm just looking after that. Don't own it. I know I don't own it.
Excellent. And it is one of the best looked after. So if we take a compression suit, we have an armor rating of 2.
You get -1 on agility rolls.
On agility rolls as well.
And it'll have an air supply, obviously.
If we take personnel armor, we get, or I'm assuming the UPP equivalent of the personnel armor in the book is available to us.
Which armor is that then, Matthew? You got the page there.
M3 personnel armor on 128, looking at armor rating 6.
I suspect that you would have in the Commissar's General's control maybe 8 suits of that for the whole colony.
Right. Well, there's only 4 of us, unless Will turns up. I mean, Dmitri. I mean, Solovetski.
But it's obviously it's like Colonial Marine armor. This isn't a sealed unit.
Yes.
So
that's what I'm.
You won't be able to wear it underneath your compression suit.
No. I was going to suggest
wear
we
it
didn't wear a
over.
compression suit.
Or over your compression suit. You can hang it on, you can carry it if you're in your compression suit, but I wouldn't allow it to confer any armor protection for you.
Given the reports back, Ash, let me ask you, you were actually there.
You were there, yes.
Which would you have preferred at the time? A compression suit?
We
Or
took our
armor.
compression suits off at the time, regrettably. I think compression suits are probably more pertinent than armor. The infected that we faced were dangerous, but we managed to outnumber the one that we dealt with, and prevented ourselves from encountering further.
But Comrade Lieutenant Graf was with you there, and I know he's an expert at that sort of stuff. None of us are particularly good shots.
No, not at all.
In my latest assessment, I got, let me tell you, I got a grade 2 in my latest assessment.
Yeah, similar to myself. Yeah, I'm not planning to get involved in too much shooting. That's not really my area of expertise.
Very well. Compression suits it is then? Is that what we're saying?
I think that's safest
so.
because we don't know what the state of the air will be down there, do we? It might not be particularly.
And also, if the air is not being recycled, any infected should have long expired.
That is definitely the assumption of the command team. Yeah.
Okay. But if Oscar's right, and now we can't rule out foreign interference, there may be somebody else there. Can I? Okay, we'll go with pressure suits, but can I take a suit of M3 equivalent armor for myself?
You can, yeah.
Load that on board. And what weapons do we have?
Yeah. Anything
Actually-
melee that I could use. I've currently got my shock stick, but is there anything else?
There would be batons in the Commissar General supply. There'd also be some sidearms, and you've got there are 4 spare pulse rifles.
4 spare pulse rifles and 4 of us. That's excellent. What are the stats of a pulse rifle?
I'll give you those in a moment. You are you're authorized to take 1 reload each. Pulse rifle stats, if you all want them, folks,
I suppose.
are as follows. The bonus is +1. Damage is 2. Range is long. And it's armor piercing and full auto.
Okay. And anything else? Any diagnostic equipment you need to take, Oscar?
Well, I've got my normal machines kit with me. That should be fine. Do we need anything like these spores you were talking about? Is there any way of disinfecting large areas that we know of?
I mean, like a flamethrower?
Possibly, yeah.
You could probably requisition a flamethrower from the maintenance if you wish to do that, yeah.
It might be prudent.
That's probably...
An incinerator unit, yeah.
Just found it.
But yeah, you don't get any reloads with that.
Okay.
And we're just allowed to take one of those, are we?
Yeah.
Between us?
And you do get some strange looks from the maintenance people when Inspector Shu is saying, I need to requisition this for Commissar business.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can come up with a good story. You always can.
Actually, the quartermaster, does he have any connections with the noisy gang?
Not that you're immediately aware of, no.
Okay, fine. So yeah, I will be as businesslike as I professionally can be, and simply say it is Commissar business. If he asks any questions, I'll say that's not something we can divulge at this time.
Yeah, I mean, you're just getting funny looks that none of them would presume to actually question.
Good.
Your requisition request.
Ed Shuo 9.
So we're like getting the RoboCop vibe, thanks to Exius. Right. Did you need anything else? So
I'll take my usual stuff, my PDAT and my system diagnostic device.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Your suits are full of air, so they've each got 5 air supply.
5 air.
Excellent. I'll probably need to take some food and stuff if you're bothered by that.
I think the suits also have a flashlight attached to the helmet, which will have 5 power.
Mm.
Cool. Food and stuff, the rations and whatnot are standard pack in the dippers, yes?
Yeah, you've got a good couple of weeks' supply in the dipper, yeah.
Good.
Cool.
Okay, are you ready to rock and roll?
If there's a survivor, do we need to take any antifungal drugs with us in case there's somebody who will want to protect and vaccinate?
That's not a bad idea. Should probably do that.
Yeah, you can do that. That's no problem at all.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm going to share the screen, Matthew.
I'm just going to put my pulse rifle in a bag. I'm not really planning to use it, except in dire emergency.
Okay. Right, I've put the screen up. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
So this is the local area of Solovetski Island. To the south, you have the Mutscha Straits, and then you have the Gintscha Straits, in which Kursk Outpost is placed. Kursk Outpost sits on the sea floor. For those of you who might not remember, it's 200 meters down, which is too deep for your dipper to go safely. Your compression suits are okay at that kind of depth, but there is a docking port which is 20 meters under the surface, which has an elevator and a lift shaft and a ladder that goes down all the way to the outpost.
Mm-hmm.
Each hex here is about 10 kilometers, so it's about 150 kilometers if you don't try and drive over the sort of the cliff-like elements of the the islands here. It's quite a short journey. It's a couple of hour journey, so it's not a very long one.
Although, should we head off in a different direction and circle around? In case anyone sees us, they don't think, hang on, they're going to Kursk Outpost.
Yeah, very good. Very wise.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's absolutely fine. You can do that with no problem whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you've got a few hours of daylight left. And I guess
what's the comms equipment like? I mean, if they're 200 meters down, they probably can't just send a signal without having an aerial somewhere on the surface. Or a buoy or something. Or buoy for our American friends.
Buoy. A buoy. Yeah, I guess they probably had a buoy floating off from the docking port, which is 20 meters under the water.
Right, so set up one way and then circle back.
Yeah.
And I did learn piloting with my experience points now, so I actually can steer.
Pilot your own different now. That's good.
Okay, cool. I'm not gonna make you make a roll for the journey. The weather has settled down now. You're into the end of summer, beginning of autumn, so it's not too rough. You do get given a readout of the layout of the station, which you should be able to see now.
Yeah, just have to go full screen. All right.
How are you
looks
feeling?
like our station.
Sorry?
Oh no, it doesn't. Yeah, I remember this station from yes.
So what's the staff complement
What are
doing?
you smoking, Matthew?
What's that?
What are you smoking?
No. I've seen this map before, but it's because I was watching the one that.
Oh, okay.
You're watching the show rather than
Yeah.
Yeah. So the crew complement, there were 10 people here at the point when it went wrong, and Campbell and the rest of them made a hasty retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So
bring back some traumatic memories, Campbell. Are you?
I'm okay.
Going back. Must have been quite a stressful experience last time you were there.
Yeah, it's stressful. I'm not sure if I want to start with a stress point, but
that wasn't what I was suggesting.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
But
Can you tell us about it?
Given the nature of the game, yeah, I think that probably plays into it. Because a bit of why the heck is Mr. Company Agent being sent in, but it kind of makes sense. He was there last time. So yeah, I'm happy to start with a point of stress. Coming back to
the place
that's where he nearly died.
Yeah, take yourself a point of stress then, John.
Starting with a stress die in the pool.
Okay.
Or whatever I went wrong.
I'm not going to make you make a roll for the journey to get there. I think we can cut straight to your arrival at the location of the outpost. From the surface, or just under the surface, it looks the docking area looks as it was when you left, Campbell.
So no other dippers there.
No other dippers there. No.
So what's expecting us, Campbell?
The unfortunate souls that were here and were infected, they were overly aggressive, but not necessarily to each other. Right. Just to us who, I don't know, maybe it was not infected, unfamiliar faces, I'm not sure, but they were overly aggressive to us. We took down one of them who was standing over another, all the evidence points to them killing the other person. But
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I expect that they should have expired by now. It's been a couple of weeks.
It's been more like 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay, it's been 4 or 5 weeks. They should have expired by now. What to expect? Yeah, there were a couple of infected people there. Hopefully, we find
Quickly, sorry
them
to interrupt, Jonathan, because Matthew just put up the question about one of the dippers got left behind.
Yeah.
I think as you left, you kind of set the other dipper off going in the opposite direction, and then left it so that nobody left on the base could kind of sneak out and get away.
Excellent.
So I guess Campbell would remember that he did that on the way out.
Sorry, Jonathan, carry on.
Yeah, that's all right. Because Jonathan Clay doesn't remember that.
So Yarbu sucks to you, Centauro Takaj, then, Bruce. GMing it from the audience. Well done, mate. Thanks.
Thanks, GM.
We are so supportive of our audience. Well done.
Patrons, no less.
And patrons, yes.
Well, maybe not now after that.
So, yes, Campbell says, I expect, I hope, and I don't want to be surprised or disappointed that we find some bodies lying peacefully on the ground. About 10 or so altogether is what I'm anticipating.
Right. It's an ideal growing matter for fungi.
Indeed.
So you've now arrived. I guess, are you just sort of hovering by the airlocks?
So basically, what we have
plan?
Is we're on a sort of pontoon. Are we above the?
No. So the airlocks are actually under the water, 20 meters down.
Right, and so our dipper has gone under the water to dock with the airlock.
If you want to dock with the airlock, you then go down 20 meters and dock with the airlock under the surface.
But yeah, that's what I mean. So at the moment, we are above the airlock, aren't we? We're on the surface. Yeah. Yeah, I can't see any reason why we don't get this over and done with. But is there anything you scientists would like to do first?
I doubt there's much we can do, really. I think we probably just have to go down. There's Campbell, you were here before. There's I imagine the lift, the elevators down will be not operational if there's no power, will they?
If there's no power, they probably won't.
Is there a staircase?
It's not a staircase, it's a ladder.
Excellent. Before we go far, if the signal is being transmitted from this location here, can we disable the signal?
Can we detect the signal? Now we're close. So should we do that first? See if we can.
Last time we were here, we weren't able to interact with the base proper by using the computer at the top of the lift shaft. The communication was not working, so I don't know that it's improved on its own.
I guess if that signal's been detected, though, it must just be a radio signal going out, so we should be able to pick that up if it's still going.
You can't pick up any signal, and the signal that Lycanova was referring to had sort of beaconed out, but then stopped. So it wasn't a constant signal. She was concerned that it might start up again, and then others might spot it. But it was just that one burst of signal, and then it stopped. But definitely a signal from here.
Fair enough.
Should we just head down then?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's suit up.
Okay.
Can I put some sort of access key onto the dipper so people don't just climb in after us and take off?
Yes, I think you would have that anyway, Frank.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, so
personal touch for a vehicle that you don't own.
But it's under his care and control at the moment. So
Safety lock for authorized use only.
I think, yeah, exactly. They all come with, locks or safety secure mechanisms. So are you leaving the dipper on the surface? Are you, Frank?
Well, no.
Well, if you need to dock,
Well, it appears to be docked.
Right. Okay.
We're going for a swim.
Yeah, I think we
could in our compression suits if you wanted to, but you might as well just dock with it, might we?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay. I will make you make a roll piloting, please, Prishka, for that.
Finally, I can use my skills. So that's 1, 2, 3. No, it's just stress dice. Hang on. 5 dice, and absolutely no success.
Okay, you're finding it difficult to dock with this, and I think the reason that you deduce is that the actual docking mechanism, and in fact the docking kind of tower, seems to be a bit bent or twisted.
Oh,
was it like that when you were here before, Campbell?
No, it wasn't.
what could twist it? Seismic activity? Somebody driving a dipper into it?
Has anyone got observation skill that they
Not only have I got observation, but I've got a talent to work out what happened here. Do you want me to try that one?
Entirely up to you if you wish to try and work out what happened here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try that. My observation is 2. My attribute wits is 5. And my investigator talent allows me to ask the question, what happened here? Right. Okay. Well, this is already a bit odd, so I'm going to just roll that again.
Take a stress point.
And this time I get 2 successes.
Does that offer you 2 questions? Does it, or is it
Yes.
just that
So what happened here is the first one.
Okay. It looks very much like that. I guess you probably would know a little bit about this, having been living underwater. It looks like that this thing has probably been twisted by some kind of pressure imbalance or sudden pressure change inside it.
Yeah. Shit.
I mean, it's
Just as well we bought the compression suits then, boys.
Yeah, so it's no longer pressurized. Does that mean it's going to be full of water then, the lift truck?
Okay, so my next question is slightly different.
The answer to that question is yes. I think you can see that the airlock is actually open, or open enough, and it looks like it's flooded.
Does the dipper have an airlock? It does.
Yes, it does.
So we can. The fact that if it's water outside, we can still.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's flooding the dipper.
Sorry, Matthew, your second question.
So my second question, is there anything out of place? Something that's out of the ordinary? Given that obviously, yes, the door's slightly ajar, the airlock is full of water, and there appears to be a pressure imbalance. Is there anything else?
Not that you can detect, no. Nothing else seems.
And can I ask, in terms of the distortion, is it convex or concave? Do we think there was a massive build-up of pressure from the inside or reduction of pressure from the inside? I'm assuming reduction, but...
Well, you've already had your second question.
Okay, fine.
I'm trying to work out what it would be. Not being a deep sea like
so
mechanical engineer.
A structure like this underwater
it's
would
definitely twisted,
collapse in like squeezing a Coke can because the pressure water. But has it actually ruptured like the Coke cans exploded?
Yes, there's definitely been an external pressure.
So it's crushed.
No,
Crushed,
sorry,
right.
Internal pressure. Sorry, there's definitely been an internal pressure pushing outwards.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay, so that is out of the ordinary. That's my second question.
You're third, really, so you got a freebie, but I'll let you off.
Yeah, but my second question is there anything out of the ordinary? And you didn't mention that it looked like the pressure was on the inside, not the outside.
Okay, fair enough. You said out of place, not out of the ordinary.
I think I said out of place and out of the ordinary.
Is it okay?
Are there any details out here that are out of place, something that's out of the ordinary, to use the exact words? But...
Well, you got your answer anyway.
Okay, yeah. This isn't good, gentlemen.
No.
Can we dock at all, or are we going to have to swim to the entrance?
I think it's probably with Frank's role. I think it's probably impossible to dock at the moment.
Okay,
it's probably
going to be swim.
It's probably part of the reason why you failed.
Is this
probably
the right
because
place to enter? Therefore, Frank, do you want to take us on a little tour of the facility and see if there's another breach
facility
anywhere else?
Is much deeper, so the dipper can't go down.
But we can possibly scan around
to the facility.
To the main part of the facility. Okay.
So
we have a map, right? We have a map.
Science on this, Dimitri.
You do have a floor plan. The safe depth for the dipper is 50 meters.
Mm-hmm.
They expect it's probably operable up to 80 meters, but you would be taking a risk. Anything beyond that is beyond its design specs completely, and you'll be taking a significant risk.
Remind us how deep the outpost is?
200 meters.
Right. Okay. We'll go down the lift shaft then.
Along the outside of it. If there's another entrance.
Share the map again. Your compression suits are designed for that depth. They'll be all right.
So with the lift shafts coming in the northern end.
Yeah, so you've got the lift shaft. If you can see my cursor, the lift shaft is here.
We're not seeing the map yet.
I think Matt has to share it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Just responding to a lovely compliment. So.
And then there are the sluices.
Right, so if you can see my cursor.
Yeah.
See it moving. So top left, you've got the two lift shafts. There is a external airlock at the northern end.
Mm-hmm.
It goes out. That is obviously an access point. And you could, in theory, access through the sluice. But that's probably not the easiest way to gain access, particularly if there is no power.
Right. Although if there is hostile activity on, but that might be the most unexpected way to go in.
It might be. Now the airlock, if there is no power down there, do the airlocks have emergency power? Do we carry a battery pack to basically wire it up?
You could plug in your power pack to give it enough power to cycle the airlock.
Right.
Or we could climb down the lift shaft. Has it got an external ladder? Help us.
No, it's just internal ladders.
But presumably, if the lift shaft is full of water anyway, it's not going to make much difference whether we go down in the lift shaft or not.
I say we just take the lift shaft.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so the lift shaft that you can enter either of them. Because both of them are open at the top.
Split up
and go down different ones, or should we all go down the same shaft?
I think we should go down the same shaft. Very well. Yeah. Which one did you escape from?
The left one. No, the right one.
The right one as it stands here. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that we went up.
So we shall go down that shaft. I shall take the lead, I guess, since I'm the nearest thing we have to a point man. You can thank me later.
Hopefully.
I'm sure we'll do that if you're still alive.
Okay. So there are ladders in there, so it's quite easy going because you can just pull yourself down using the rungs. So there's no. I'm not going to make you make a roll for anything to get down there. It's quite straightforward. It is all full of water.
Yep.
You get down to the bottom. I will open up the map again, having just closed it. So Matt, if you want to share that when you get a moment. So you.
As we go down, can we see any more detail of the damage to the lift shaft? Any more clues about what might have caused?
Okay. Make another observation roll. I'll let you have that.
An observation roll this time.
I'll help if possible.
You can be analysing
Point
together.
for me as well.
Can I take a point from Matthew as well?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 10 dice.
Oscar's just minding his own business.
Yeah, so that's a good start. So with my 10 dice, I get no successes. I probably won't bother pushing that one, I don't think, at this point.
Okay. And what you can see is there's definitely signs of this having twisted and been under some level of some quite extreme pressure. Pardon me. It takes you. It's 200 meters. It takes you. I don't know, probably 10 or 15 minutes to go down that distance. The airlock doors, when you reach the bottom, are open.
It's been a place for the water then.
And certainly all you can see into the ready room is fully submerged, yeah.
Do we know, are the internal doors here, are they
Pressure doors.
completely sealed? Yeah, they're pressure doors. Could part of the base be full of water, but the rest of it still have air? Basically, once it's full of water, is it the whole place going to be underwater?
Make a heavy machinery roll to see how much you know about all of this kind of stuff.
I can help you with that. That's one of my specialties.
Well, do you want to? Can I ask you the question then?
You can do that, yes.
Because I'm not. I've got 3 dice of heavy machinery.
Anybody else?
I have no points in heavy machinery. I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My hands are not calloused.
Let's see. 8 dice, 1 success.
Yeah, okay, so yes, you would know that some of the doors here would certainly be sufficiently pressured or sufficiently strong to withstand pressure. So you would know, for example, there are bulkheads that are intended to close if an area suffers a breach.
Mm-hmm.
You also, I guess, I think you probably would know this. The geological probe room. Can somebody mute themselves, please? Because I'm getting loads of noise, which is really
sorry. That was probably me.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Sorry.
That's all right. The geological probe room drills down very deeply, and as a precaution, both of these are airlocks.
Okay, good. Are there any windows into that space?
You wouldn't know. You're in the ready room.
Right. Okay.
Right, and we are. Let me just understand this. We are totally submerged. All these voids are full of water, right?
Everywhere you can see at the moment is fully submerged. Yes.
And we're using our torches because there's no light source down here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are there any bodies floating in the ready room with us?
I'm gonna want a group observation roll, please. So this is very dark. The only light in here is the light that's coming from your flashlights on your suits.
So
It's
group
very
roll, is that the
show.
best of us, or is that the worst of us?
It's the best.
So I start with 7.
Yeah, I've got 7 in observation.
5.
I'll stop sharing that for the moment.
Do you want to make that roll, John? Since you asked the question, I can offer you a dice of help, I guess,
Sure, thanks.
by shining my torch around.
Yep.
I'm sure Dimitri could do the same if you
I
wasn't
could offer a dice of help. Yes.
Yeah. If I can wiggle my torch around to
Funny, I
help
was
you.
just saying the same thing.
Yeah, you can have 3 dice of help, Campbell, if everyone is helping search this area.
Let's torch this place.
All right, that's 10 base die, 1 stress die, so 11 dice, and 1 success.
No, there's no signs of life or death here at all.
Okay.
Pulse rifles work underwater.
That's something we shall discover when you first shoot a pulse rifle.
I've never seen anything anywhere that says that they do, but I've also never seen anything anywhere that says that they don't. I'm gonna say that they probably are operable underwater. Yeah, you'll get a -1, I think, for using it underwater.
Yeah, you'll probably lose a lot of range.
Yeah.
So, let us progress. I find it curious. I'm pretty convinced that the reports of Lieutenant Graff indicated there should at least be dead bodies at the bottom of the lift shaft.
Well, they might have floated out.
We didn't.
Yes, well, Campbell, you were there.
We didn't pass any on the way down.
No, did you?
No,
when you were here before, did you kill any of these infected people at the bottom of the lift shaft?
Graff shot them several times. The only confirmed one that I recall was in the security or operations room. One of those rooms.
Control center, was it?
Control center. That's it.
I'll bring the map up again.
I guess if there's a signal having been sent, that's probably a likely place for it to have been sent from anyway, isn't it? So
yeah,
we're heading for that.
The control center. Thankfully, it's not that far.
Yeah.
Okay, I need everyone to make an air roll, please, for the journey down. And your
That's 1d6, right?
How many did you say we had?
Yeah, for full air, which is 5 dice. So
No stress.
A 1 is lose.
You don't include stress. If you roll a 1 on any of the dice, you lose that dice.
No,
Lost 1.
Okay, on that.
I
if I get
also
6, do I get more air?
No, obviously not.
Do you want us to do a power roll for our torches as well?
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry.
Is that 5 on power as well? I seem to remember.
It is 5 from power. Yep.
I lost one of those too.
Good on that.
Yeah, I lost 1 power.
Okay. Right, so are you heading in the direction of the control center?
Are we all going to stay together, or are we going to split up?
Let's stay together, I think.
Okay.
I already pooped 3 times before 11.
Are you leading the way, John, to the...
Yeah, I'll lead the way. I'll take point.
Could you, Dave, just make that map a bit bigger, zoom in a bit?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me just...
I'm going to make a terrible assumption that my 357 Magnum is going to work underwater.
No, that's not going to work underwater.
No?
No.
No? Oh,
No, absolutely not. Sorry.
All right. Well, then I'll just sling out the pulse rifle.
Yep.
What about my communist pistol?
No, that's not going to work underwater.
I figured.
But it's superior UPP goods.
Well, you're lucky if it works on land, mate, let alone underwater.
You got to think it's like an AK-47. They work everywhere.
Right. You're heading for the control center.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Okay, and when you come through, these 2 bulkheads are both open.
Mm-hmm.
All of this area is flooded with water.
You're right.
Now, these bulkheads were open naturally, or were they exploded open one way or the other?
I think
my memory.
What was your memory, Jonathan?
My memory was at least the ready room door was closed behind us. Although that did get that was open. Oh no, it was opened because Graf was shooting them. Yeah. So no, they were opened when we left.
They opened when you left, but since you left, there has been an explosion that has wrecked the airlock. An explosion within this thing. I'm trying to work out where the epicenter of the explosion was.
No, those doors both look fine.
Okay, so we head down to the door directly ahead of us to get into the corridor that leads to the control center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you do see when you come into here is you can see that this door to maintenance appears to have been kind of twisted out of its bearings by some kind of force, and
from the inside.
It's blown in towards the room where you're currently standing.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm liking the look of this too much.
No, it doesn't look good, does it? Blown in.
I would like to detour for a moment, just do a bit of a hand signal and just point over there, and I think Campbell's going to go and have a look.
In the maintenance area.
This could be a good thing. I'll cover from this side. Campbell, you go ahead. Dimitri and forgive me, I'm not even looking at the screen here. You two, why don't you go to control center?
Okay, yeah. Doors to the south.
Okay. There's loads of noise coming through again. Somebody, can we just all please mute if we're not talking? Thanks very much.
The door to the south of the room we're in, is that door open or closed?
That door is open.
Okay, I was going to go and have a look through that door, then have a look through and have a look both ways down that corridor. See if we can see anything.
You can see telltale signs of, again, kind of like buckling on some of these walls, as if there'd been some great pressure or some force that it exerted on them.
Can we see the airlock-style doors into the geological probe room?
You can see the doors from where you are, yes.
And are they intact?
They are intact, yep.
Because, as I thought that there may have been some pressure build-up from down those shafts that came up and caused us damage, potentially. But I guess
it looks more likely to the pressure build-up was something to do with the sluice.
If it's come through the
and
maintenance.
That's what Ash has gone to investigate. Saying over my communicator. Get to the control center.
Yeah, let's have a look at the control room. Let's make that a priority.
Yeah, okay, we'll head towards the control room. That the door there is
That's
that
this one here. Yeah, that door is intact. As you're approaching it, I will come back to here because Campbell, you've got to the maintenance, the hole where the maintenance door used to be.
I'm covering Campbell from behind.
Yep. Can you make a observation roll, please?
Yes, I can. 1-6.
Okay, you can see that there does seem to be a bit of a flow of water. Not a strong one. The door on the far side is smashed. It's gone.
And buckled inwards towards Ash, right?
It is buckled outwards away from Ash.
Oh, right. Okay, so Ash, as you're describing this to me, obviously, as I stand outside, it then suggests that maintenance, the area you're now in, was the epicenter of an explosion.
So let me finish. You also notice that the door to the reactor is open. This wall where you would expect to find it isn't there. And its kind of mangled remains appear to be scattered across the maintenance room.
Okay. The reactor door is
open.
okay or not?
It seems to be okay. It's just open.
Okay, the reactor door is open. I'm going to take a peek into the reactor space and just see if anything stands out of the ordinary to me at the doorway.
Okay, I will need another observation roll from you, but I'll come back to you in a moment.
Of course.
Prishka and Ivanov, you reach the door to the control center. The door has a viewing pane in it. You can see that the control center is not flooded.
Is not flooded?
Yep.
Just realized I'm muted. Yeah, we would have to find a way of getting in there.
Well, I guess we could open the door and flood it.
Can
we see anything else in there? If we look around and is there a person in there that we can see?
Yes, I won't make you make a roll for that. There is a dead, mangled person whose head appears to have popped. You both ought to take a point of stress for seeing that.
Yep.
It looks pretty grim.
Are they just lying on the floor, or?
Yep, it's just lying on the floor in the middle of the room. Looks otherwise unharmed, except for the fact its head appears to have popped open.
That's quite a lot of harm.
Does it look like that came from inside, or like something chewed his head off?
You have seen some of this with some of the victims of the spores, that when they build up such pressure, parts of the skull or the eyes and that will burst.
Lovely.
So from what you can see, it looks as if this is a victim of the spores.
I guess if we flood the place, he won't die again.
The doors, which way do they open?
They slide, yeah. So there's no power, but you would be able to use the manually open the door.
So I wonder if we could. I mean, we might better get in there before it completely floods. Although I suppose the pressure on the cell is going to be quite high.
At 200 meters underwater, the pressure is going to be pretty damn intense.
Yeah, I think let it equalize if we can. Just hope it doesn't damage anything that we are actually trying to research.
Okay, back to Frank. Frank, you are sorry, not Frank. Campbell.
Ash.
You are looking into the reactor room. Did you make a observation roll, please?
I did make an observation roll, and I got 3 6s.
Right. Okay. The room looks quite battered. In the way that, if you see a flood running into something, you see all the stuff is pushed up against one wall. It looks like that. The flood must have flooded in through this door and has pushed everything up against the far wall. The reactor itself has got no power to it whatsoever. It looks completely dead. You do notice, for 3 successes, you do see that there appear to be little patches. They look like coffee rings from coffee cups all over it. But they are definitely bits of corrosion. It's almost like little circles of corrosion all over the reactor.
I'm going to describe this to everyone, and also as I hear them talking about getting into, possibly opening the door to the control center and leaking it in, I'm just going to say out loud, I'm going to say, can we not flood the control room and whatever computers are in there that may still be worthwhile retrieving?
Is there any way we can try to sort of isolate a part of the space so we can actually get this corridor dry?
there. I mean, there's. If we can set up, I mean, how much time do we have? Probably not enough time. There's got to be a way. If we can patch up whatever holes there are, and then start. Oh no!
There might be a way through the geological lab or the probes, because there's an airlock into the probe room and then an airlock into the lab, and if that is dry, then we might be able to knock through the wall.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, they haven't got any.
Yeah, going around to the geology labs. That's
not a bad thought.
Actually, the door to the rec room, is that closed? Was that closed?
I'll go and check that. So I'm in this central sort of thing with my gun pointing towards where Ash went into maintenance. I'm nearest this door here. Yeah. I'll have a look over my shoulder again, generally keeping my gun pointing in this direction. But are there windows in this door?
So the door is shut. There is a window in the door. Looking through, you can see that the rec room is flooded.
Right, the rec room is flooded, I'll say.
So, Oscar, should we go and see if we can cycle that airlock into the geological probe room?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Very good. I will come into the maintenance area and the reactor with Ash and say, what do you think the radiation is here?
Radiation? I hadn't even thought of that.
The clue, Ash, is in the name. Reactor.
Yeah, but also, it's filled with seawater, and the compression suit's not exactly telling us whether or not it's any warmer as we step into the thing. So we're kind of isolated from it. If I'd stepped in there and I felt like, oh, it's a bit warmer in here, I might be concerned. But I'm wearing a compression suit and can't tell if it's any warmer down here in this water.
Very well. Do you have any devices that can measure the radiation even underwater like this? I'm only concerned for your safety, Ash.
And your safety too. You're standing right next to me, mate.
Well, I'm just a little bit behind you right now, but
I don't know. I don't have anything on me in particular. I have a fancy Rolex watch and not one of those doohickey ones that are in the core rule book that actually do things. Yeah. So unfortunately, I'm kind of guessing here, but I'll point out the rings on the reactor, those marks, and I'll say that doesn't look like it's supposed to be there on a reactor to me.
No.
And I'll flash back and I'll just go, I remember there were some, when we were here last, we saw a few things scuttling on the floor. Scuttling might not be the right word. I don't know if it was hard legs or soft, but there was definitely something that was not, I thought it was some sort of underwater fauna that had got loose from the science labs, maybe. I think I only saw one.
I turned to face the destroyed wall towards the science labs, and I say, well, it looks like something came out of the science labs.
And you're both by the reactor door at the moment, are you?
Yeah, but I'm facing this way, and now with my torch and rifle at shoulder height, I slowly head into the darkness beyond the ripped apart wall here.
Yeah. Okay. Are you being
dark beyond the maintenance?
Are you being careful? Are you being stealthy?
Well, you know that bit where I said with my torch and my gun up here.
Oh, I guess it's not so
I
easy
think
to
that
be
is
stealthy
careful,
with a torch.
but not stealthy in terms of.
No, that's fine. Okay. Let's cut back to Prishka and Ivanov. So you can operate this airlock, but you will need to use one of your power cells and make a power roll to cycle the airlock.
Okay, well, I guess the only power cell we've got is the one on our torch.
Mm-hmm.
One of us. How much power have you got left on yours, Oscar? Yeah, same here. So I'll use mine then for this first one.
Is Oscar still muted again?
Yes.
Yeah.
That explains it.
He's being responsible and doing the thing that the DM asked us to do.
I know.
I'm always responsible.
But he's just doing it too well now, so you can unmute when you're talking. It's fine.
All right, you roll your power.
I roll my power. No, that's fine. My power is good.
Yeah, okay. It takes maybe 30 seconds to cycle fully. The door opens. There is other light in here. You can tell that there is a light source somewhere. So this room is quite big. Each of these markings are basically drill bores, and there are drills that hang from the ceiling or hang from the top, which are then pushed down into those to then deposit the probes right down deep inside the crust. Most of these seem to have some kind of almost like manhole cover over the top of them, so very few of them are actually exposed.
Is this
all of the drills have been pulled upwards?
Is this room not flooded?
It's not flooded, no. Okay. There is a light on the far side, and you, as the door cycles, you hear a voice shout, "Thank God!" But not in Russian or Chinese.
Okay, I'm getting my pulse rifle out now. In my bag.
Shouting in foreign. I'm getting my cattle prod out.
Yeah, you can see in the gloom, you can see. Well, make an observation roll actually to see what you can see.
Okay. Each or one of us?
Group. So the person with the best observation.
I have 8 in observation.
You go for it.
Can Oscar help? I'll assume you can help.
Yes, I'll let you have that.
3 successes.
Okay,
Oh, hang on, I forgot to roll my stress as well. That's fine. Yeah, 3 successes.
You can see that there are 3 people looking very dishevelled, and they're all kind of running, coming over in your direction, very kind of excitedly. They are all wearing US Marine Corps armor. They are holding pulse rifles and other weapons, but they're not leveling them.
Okay, my pulse rifle is leveled.
Yeah,
at them.
and they run into your direction and say, "Oh, thank you."
I just hold up a hand and just say, "Easy, keep your distance."
In English. Now, I'm going to assume that you know a basic level of English. I think it's probably fair enough.
Yeah, this really reminds me of that scene in For All Mankind where they meet on the moon.
That didn't go well. That did not go well.
Ash might only have a very basic use of Russian or Chinese, so he probably prefers to speak in English.
Yeah.
So,
but you're not there.
No, but you've conversed with me before, so.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's probably fair. I think it's fair. I'm not going to worry about the language. And they say, "You've come to rescue us."
What we say? Weapons down. Put your weapons down now.
Yeah, they go, okay. One of them's a woman, 2 of them are men, and they all go, yeah, fine.
So how are they dressed? They're dressed in. They haven't got compression suits.
In the M3 armor that I was suggesting we take.
They are dressed in Marine Corps armor. Yes.
I said, "Hey, the hell are you? And what are you doing here?"
We were here as part of a rescue mission, and we got stranded.
I'm going to relay this via comms, by the way, so Shu and Ash.
Yeah. So whilst this is happening, Shu and Ash, what are you doing? You're still in maintenance at the moment.
Yeah,
Right.
I think we're heading into the science lab.
Well, if we can, yes. I'm definitely heading. I wasn't really looking forward to going into the monster's cave in the dark.
I mean,
so I'm now backing out, thinking, this is far better. I can deal with this.
Yeah.
People I know.
Yes, I'm in agreement.
Before you back out, what you do get a glimpse of, right at the far end, is that this wall here is missing, and it looks like it's been
blown in or out.
It looks like it's been
ripped.
It looks like both, actually. There's definitely damage inwards, but you can also see from the edges of the hole that was made, and made probably with some precision. There's definitely a rending outwards as well.
Right. Okay. Can I close this maintenance door manually as we leave the maintenance room?
No, that maintenance door is screwed.
That was blown into the hallway.
That maintenance door is gone. Yeah.
I will say I am not convinced that there is not some sort of Leviathan around using this, having taken up residence in this facility. We can get through this door here. Do we need to cycle?
I don't know what you mean when you say this door here, because I can't see your cursor now.
Oh, so I'm pointing at it. Why can't you see where I'm pointing?
Even as a GM using the wrong map, Matthew still does this.
I know.
We are heading towards the Americans.
So you get to this door,
the door into that one there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That we can get through easily.
Yes.
Because that's underwater both sides.
And that's
if you want to move into the airlock, we need to cycle that again, do we? At the cost of one power.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, at the cost of a power roll.
I will make a power roll. I'm at full charge still.
Campbell, are you going with him?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whilst they're doing that, that'll take them maybe a minute to achieve that. Back to Ivanovsky and Prishka.
Have they dropped their weapons?
They've placed their weapons on the ground, quite near to them. They haven't thrown them miles away, but they put them at their feet.
So, Oscar, do you want to go and grab those while I keep my gun on?
Look, you might want to let us keep these if those things come back.
I just move them slightly further away. And what
those things? What? Okay, start at the beginning. Why? How did you get in here? And what happened? What things? Are they things that did the damage that we've seen to this outpost? Tell us about the things.
Make a manipulation roll, Tone. I think you could definitely. I think you can have +2 dice for the circumstances.
They depend on us.
I get 2 successes.
They say, look, we're part of a team that we rescued some of your people from here a few weeks ago. We might have caused some of the leak, possibly by when they left. So we did a standard insertion for like underwater or vacuum. So our sub broke through your wall, but it made a seal and an airlock when it did that.
Where's your sub now?
Oh, they left weeks ago. They left us behind. There are things here. I'm coming up these probe things. That's why we've capped them all off with these manhole covers. But they can come through those. They haven't come up. They haven't tried to get in here for a couple of days. They must have given up on us. They took everybody else. They're like, I don't know. They're kind of like crab-like people. They're The water doesn't bother them. They've got really hard shells, and we shoot them, and it hardly scratches them. Don't know where they came from. We weren't expecting them to be here. We came here and said we were rescuing your people, and these things came, and everybody else left. And when they left, they ruptured the seal on the on the hull, and we were lucky enough to get in here before the whole place kind of imploded or exploded on itself with all the water pressure coming in.
So you're saying there's USMC, MSC, whatever you guys are called, sub on this planet?
Well, I don't suppose they're here now. This was a couple of weeks ago. They're kind of long gone. Left us,
What? I don't understand. The people on this base were dead or as good as dead. They were infected with a horrible fungus infection.
Yeah, well, we ended up here and we rescued some of them.
Were you here to rescue people or rescue something else?
Make a manipulation roll, Frank.
I'm not very good at that. But let's see.
You can get +2 for the circumstances.
Oh, that's better. So, and I have 1 success on the stress die.
Okay. So the person who's doing all the talking is the woman, and she says, "Look, I'm Sergeant Williamsburg. This is Corporal Christensen and Private Bayford," and she points to the other two. We were coming here checking something out because we thought that the UPP were up to no good, and that's why we were here.
UPP up to no good? We weren't illegally performing an insertion on a UA colony. A legitimate UA colony, were we?
We had good information that this was a secret weapons research outpost. And we were checking it out.
Do you still think it was good information?
At this point, have Shu and I made it into?
I think you've come through now. Yes.
When we arrived in the ready room, did we notice were there other compression suits still there?
You didn't notice. You didn't look. So when you did look, you looked for bodies. You didn't look in the cupboards and that. So there might still be some there.
You need to check that.
You've probably got standard. You will have 3 compression suits as standard spares on the Dipper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'd have enough anyway from the Dipper to get for these people if we want.
If we want to take them along.
Well, we probably do. We're
not inhumane.
We would also take
welcome
for face
infection control.
Their legal invasion of our colony. We certainly wouldn't just leave them to die.
No, I don't want to do that. I meant infection control wise.
Yeah, indeed, we must be very careful with them. And you understand, there are risks in taking you with us, even getting you out of this space. Do you 3 have compression suits?
No. Nope. We weren't supposed to need them. We were brought down on the sub. We were supposed to go out on the sub.
Your sub, did it connect? And I point to the room next door, to the science lab. Did you go through the wall in the science lab?
Yeah, that would have been us. Yeah. Can I have a group observation roll, please?
Dimitri, you're the best at it, but by all means, have a dice from me.
Can other people help?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can all you can have a dice for everybody.
Okay. That is 2 successes.
Okay, you recognise that Private Bayford is looking pretty unwell in a way that you've had a lot of familiarity with over recent weeks at Solovetski.
We brought some of the antidote with us, didn't we?
We did.
You did.
How many doses?
Well, 10, I reckon, because we could have found up to 10 people here.
So I'll say you.
And
No, you
which
claimed
of
when
us
we
has
first
the
met.
medical?
I have
Does
some.
none of us actually have a medical ability?
Yeah, I do. I have 6 dice of medical aid. But before that, I'll say you say that you said you claimed when we first met you that you came here to rescue people. Did you actually take? So when you came here, were people still alive, and did you take them off the base?
Yeah, there were some people still alive. I think we got a couple of them.
Because they were
got them away
infected with a. So unless your people have managed to create a cure or vaccine against it, then it could end quite badly for your.
Some of them were.
Did you have a
some
ship
of them
in
were
orbit?
quite ill.
So
What kind of disease are you talking about?
Well, that one that looks like you've got there, Mr. Bayford, was it? Whatever your name is.
And he blanches at that. It's like, I've got it.
Well, you're looking pretty under the weather. We've seen this before. We had
let us not play like games here. This is a difficult situation for us all. Let us be honest. We know that United States Marine Corps has got a DNA sample of this very fungal infection. It was transmitted to you, and I say however many days ago it was.
It would have been about a month or ago, maybe.
A month or more ago. You came here 2 weeks ago, so you or your superiors
3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
Knew exactly what was down here, and have left you undefended. Typical of capitalist government.
I'm just a grunt. You know, we
obviously you are. We are all we all have to serve somebody. What I'm saying is that you are being manipulated by the corrupt government of your so-called democracy.
Well,
however,
I'm in no position to disagree with you. Am I? You know, we managed to get the beacon out. You obviously heard it. You've come. You know, we need your help. We will die here if you don't help us.
How long was the beacon meant to last?
We were able to get a burst of a signal out, but that was all. I didn't have enough power, and then we needed to save some power just to keep the air circulating in this room and keep us alive.
While this is going on, Dave, Ash would like to leave all the chat about what's going on and go and try and see if it's viable to get to the control center through those airlocks, through the airlock that remains to get there. Whilst all this chat is going on with the Marines,
yeah, okay.
You know, it's 3-on-3 there. The Marines aren't armed, so Campbell's.
Can I make an observation roll to see him sneaking off?
He's not like sneaking off. He's just kind of like, all right, okay, just walking off there. He's not.
Yeah. Well,
okay. I'll let you have an observation roll. If you fail it, then Jonathan, you're able to get into the airlock down at the. I've shared the map again. If you want to put that up, Matt.
Okay.
If Matt fails the roll, then I think you are able to get into the airlock. You will need to do a power roll for that.
Sure.
I'm going to give you
zoom in on the.
So I'm going to give you -2, Matthew, because you are heavily involved in the interrogation of the soldiers.
Although going and cycling an airlock is not a particularly stealthy thing to do, is it? It's fairly obvious.
No, and it takes a while.
No, but I guess he's just got to get into it. I guess the point of the roll is to see whether you get the opportunity to actually do an action before he's able to get through the first door.
Shu is so heated in this discussion because he's talking to actual products of the capitalist war machine. It's just
so basically this conversation
not so
is
heated
happening.
that I haven't got 2 successes.
Oh,
one of which comes out of my stress. So, so obviously these people wind me up.
Okay, so
they do not distract me from the path of true progress.
So you do pick up that Campbell is heading in the direction of that airlock.
Oscar, do you want to help Mr. Campbell?
Of course I will.
Jonathan?
Yeah, sure, I'll take that. I kind of Campbell looks around and nods at Prishka, and beckons towards the door.
Okay.
So power supply. I've got 4. No, I've got 5 on my power, 4 on my air supply.
Yep. So it's a power roll for cycling the airlock.
2 1s and a 6.
So yeah, that you need 2 points of power there. Then obviously it's a thirsty motor on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the soldiers. Matthew and Tony, what are you?
I came in. I heard a little bit. You say some creatures come out of these, and I point down at the manhole covers in the.
Well, they came from all over. They've been coming up these bloody bore pipes since we sealed ourselves in here, but they came through the walls. Once we were inside, they just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know what they are. I don't know where they came from there.
How big were they?
They're a couple of meters, a bit bigger than a man.
Do they? I'm now scanning the ground or the floor around here for those coffee cup marks that we saw in the reactor.
You can't see any in here.
Tell me, how often do they come? Is there an interval?
They haven't come for a couple of days, but normally, if we try to do something or try to move about, or when we send the signal, it caused a disturbance, and then they seem to pick up on that. So I suspect they might be coming because you're here and the disturbance you've created and the noise that we're making. You might want to let me pick up my pulse rifle because you might need us as well. These things tore through my squad.
Yes. And first of all, we have a delicate matter to discuss, and I'm laying on all my Inspector Shoe charm here. Now, I know that the people of the United Americas are reluctant to take medically approved vaccines.
It's only in the historical era known as the Trump nightmare.
Well, 300 years ago, did not half your population get wiped out by the however, we do have a treatment for the disease that your private does have. It is safe. We have all injected it. Will you please let Dimitri give you an injection? And I will use my manipulation if she looks at all doubtful.
She is looking a little doubtful. So make a manipulation roll.
This vaccine is called Sputnik 5.
And I get 2 successes and a stress roll, and I get 3 on my stress roll.
Yeah, okay. She looks a bit dubious, but says, "Look, frankly, you could do to us or with us whatever you please, because we are completely at your mercy."
Okay. Don't worry, we will. Now I'll turn to face the manhole covers.
Pick up the gun.
Well, Dimitri does the job.
Yeah. So there are. I mean, as you see on the map, I don't know how many there are. There's about 25 of these boreholes.
Yeah. I'm scanning them with my pulse rifle.
Yeah. Okay.
The map isn't currently up. But yes.
Do I need to make a roll to administer the cure?
No, I think this is a really straightforward thing. So I'll put the map back up again. Yeah, there's about 30 of them. They're not all capped, but most of them are.
Have you, again, I'm not now looking at them. I'm keeping my eye on these things while Tony does his job. Dimitri does his job. I say, have you gone through the airlock where my colleagues have gone?
Well, no, we've basically holed ourselves up in here, thinking it is probably the safest place to stay.
Do I think she's telling the truth?
Is it flooded through there?
The geology lab is not flooded, no.
Good.
We must find you compression suits.
You haven't got a cutting torch with you, by the way, have you?
There might be some nice big drills in the geology lab.
I think they probably do have a cutting torch, actually, as part of their gear. Yeah.
What, the Marines?
Yeah, I think I'll give you that. So they've basically set up themselves a little in the corner down here. They've got like a little camp, effectively. And yeah, Williamsburg says, look, all I want is to get out here alive, and you might need us to fight alongside you if those things turn up. So you might need to trust us. You
need our help more than we need your weighing us down. But I understand exactly how you feel. Colonel Williamsburg, Sergeant, I can see from
Sergeant, yeah, Sergeant.
But that was a little nod in. You may pick up a pulse rifle. I would prefer it if the United Americas did not outnumber the Union of Progressive Peoples in this room. But if 3 of us are carrying rifles, the other 2 can pick them up as soon as an attack occurs. You can convey those orders to your squad, Sergeant.
When these creatures come, how much warning do you get that they're on their way?
A few seconds. You can hear them coming up the tubes, but they're bloody fast. You can see that some of these man covers have been badly dented from the underside, as if something was trying to smash their way in through them. So these are quite wide. These are a couple of meters wide. These things. So it's not a small manhole cover. So they're quite big boreholes.
Do we want to touch on Frank and Ash and Oscar?
I'm going to say over comms to them, by the way, that we have got a cutting torch here if you think that'll be useful in getting to the control center.
That could be very useful.
Yeah.
But what do we actually see in the geology labs now?
So the geology labs are pretty smashed up. There are there are signs of quite a lot of fighting going on in here. There's no bodies, but yeah, there's definitely signs of a struggle.
Campbell, quick question. You guys, you know those US people, right? Yeah.
I was muted.
Sorry, I muted you again. You're unmuted now.
All right, thanks. Do I know those US people? No, not
these Marines. I mean, you know a little bit about them. I just remember reading some old stories about them never leaving a man behind.
I know. Yeah, I know some stuff about Marines, about as much as the next person, but
it just seems odd that they would leave 3 of these guys behind.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there, but yeah, we've faced some weird things, so there's no telling how much of a panic they may have been in going away and just abandoning this place to its fate.
Indeed. Well, let's see whether we can find them.
I'm convinced, having now returned to this place, I'm convinced I don't want to come back again.
Fair enough. Do you think there's any truth to what they were saying about this being a weapons research station?
Between you and me, I don't know. I don't know what the UPP get up to on their half of this colony, mate.
That would be LaSalle project, I'm sure of it.
Well, you'd think so, but nothing that's passed my desk. I can tell you that much.
Anyway, let's see what we can root out here in the geology lab.
Yes. So anything useful in the geology lab, and then we want to look at, I guess, if we can make our way through to the control center. Game Mother, Dave.
So the geology lab is pretty much smashed up. There's unless you want like an iron bar or something, there's not much of any real value here that survived.
It's a nice drill, like a rock drill or something here, that we could potentially take to wall if we needed to, or to a crab person.
No, not so much. These labs are more about receiving the data from the probes. So it's more of a kind of a computer in a data lab rather than a hands-on geology lab.
Is there any retrievable information data here?
It doesn't really look like it. It is pretty badly smashed up.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to pop out and grab a cutting torch from one of the Marines.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, you can do that. That's no trouble. I do need another power roll for the cycling of the airlock again.
Oh, I mean, if they've opened, I wasn't going to close it again.
Well, yeah, you still have to open the other door. So you haven't left both open because you used it as an airlock, presumably, in case the geology lab was flooded.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fair.
So I think you do need another power roll. You can then leave the doors open. You can then leave the doors open. Yeah.
And then I'm leaving it open, yes. Because I'm now down to 3.
So
unless, of course, Oscar wishes to take this role for me. No? Okay.
You're right.
No ones.
Okay, yeah, you've still got 3 power.
That's nice.
Yep, so you get the cutting torch. The cutting torch has power of 2 still.
Oh, joyful.
Right, let's get going here.
So as you're doing all this, you, I guess, kind of inevitably do start to hear something below you in the geological probe room. And there is... You can see the look on the faces of the Marines change and saying, okay, here comes trouble.
You may pick up your pulse rifles, gentlemen.
They do quickly.
Tell me, what tactics have you learned thus far? I'm keeping my...
Just shoot the fuck out of them.
You called them people, I think, earlier on. Before I arrived, I heard over the comms.
They're kind of like
humanoid.
They're the kind of 4-legged crab things.
Not people.
This is no, they're definitely not people. You can hear the noise getting a bit louder. No.
Oh well.
Okay. I think we're gonna. Do you want to do anything as this noise gets a bit louder?
Can we clamp all the manhole covers down with very strong manhole cover clamps?
So, no, they are as clamped as they are going to get. The Marines have already done that over the last couple of weeks.
Can we tell vaguely where the noise is coming from? Is it localized on some of the...
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll have a observation roll, Tony.
Oscar,
I will give you a dice of help for that.
Oscar, do you want to just cycle that airlock shut?
Sure, good idea.
On my observation roll.
Just to keep us separated.
Okay, that's a power roll then, please, Oscar.
Yeah, right. But on power, you don't roll stress, right?
No stress, just the dice for your power.
I'm fine.
Okay. Tony, sorry, what did you say? What did you roll?
I got 1 success on my observation roll.
Okay, I shall bring the screen back up again, Matt. Okay, we're now focused there. Okay, let me know when you can see it.
Yep.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, the There is quite a lot of noise in a number of locations, but you think one of these 4 is the noisiest, Tone, on the bottom right. You're not sure which one of those, but you think that the noise seems to be coming from there. 3 of them are capped, 1 of them isn't.
Should we all just head into the geology lab and shut the airlock behind us? And then keep quiet.
Why did you not retreat to the geology lab, Marine?
Because we don't want these things to tear through the walls and flood what's left of this place. So fighting them here is probably easier. And if you flood the place, we all die. Well, you don't, but we do.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
It.
Let's make our stand here and give the others time to see what they can find in the command center.
Okay.
Unless Doctor, you wish to swap places with Ash. Ash may be a better shot.
I think we just cited
Ash might have a view on that matter as well, potentially.
Yes, but also Ash works for LaSalle.
I'm not sure we have time.
I don't know whether you can see my wink through my faceplate.
Airlock's already done, mate. I'm working on the wall.
Yeah, let me do that. I know how to handle this sort of stuff. Cutting torches.
Yeah.
Right.
Ash, how is your ranged combat skill?
I have a total of 4.
That's still better than
that's
me.
good.
Do you want to come and help us fight these things?
No.
You sure?
Yeah,
You don't
I'll come if I'll respond if I need to, but I'm focused on getting through to the control center. I will not be swayed by Inspector Shoe this session.
But before we do any cutting, we actually should knock against the wall and find out whether the other side might be full of water.
No, if you're going into the control center, we know that is dry.
Yes. Well, it was dry when we last looked through the door. Yes.
So I assume all of you
not that evil.
I assume all of you were the. I get more evil the more times I get interrupted.
The more you get interrupted.
So I assume those of you with compression suits on have them sealed and airtight.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We don't want any spores.
No. Okay. Right. I'm going to draw initiatives for everybody.
Uh-oh.
So hang on. So
I'm going to get as far away in the room from where we think they're coming out as I can.
yeah. Okay. You will all get an action before we come into the fight. But okay. Starting with Matthew. You're on 2s, Matt.
Whoa!
Who else is in the room? Tony.
Me. Yeah.
Tony, you're on 5s. The Marines are on 1s. Campbell, you're on 10s. And Prishka, you're on 4s. The bad guys, well, not bad guys, they're just misunderstood. How many? Oh, they're not that fast. They are on 8s. Okay. The noise is getting very loud in and around those four tubes. You can hear skittering, scratching.
Can I Overwatch?
You certainly can Overwatch, yes.
Yes, I shall be. Yeah, I'll Overwatch as well.
So I think the Marines are Overwatching too.
Should we just
Prishka.
have a quick word to make sure we're not all Overwatching the same head?
No, I think you can Overwatch all 4 of them.
Okay, good.
I think that's fine. Having had our many and detailed Overwatch conversations in the past, I'm now
And
much
just
more
to be
relaxed.
clear,
as a
my
GM.
condition is something
don't
comes
need-
out of there.
You don't need
Something.
a condition, actually, as it is.
Okay.
So you are overwatching a location. If something happens in that location, you can choose to act. So,
Jolly good.
yeah.
Ah.
Put up Thomas's comment. Go on. Right. Okay. This isn't Destroyer of Worlds, Thomas. It's fine. It's okay. Right. So, Prishka, on your side of the wall, you get to act first.
Well, I suppose one of the things that might be an extra way out for us is to get into this command center. So I think I might actually do that.
Yep. So you're going to use the cutting torch to try and cut through the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do whatever I can to support this and give him a dice of help.
Okay.
I think you can probably do that. Yeah, I think that's fine. Cutting torch. I'm going to do it like damage. So you're going to need to do a certain amount of damage to the wall to make a hole in it.
Does it have a gear bonus?
It has 0 bonus, but it does 3 damage.
Right.
It does give you +2 actually to heavy machinery. So it does have a gear bonus. It does have a gear bonus for heavy machinery. It doesn't have a gear bonus for fighting.
So it's 11 dice and then the stress die, and I have to reroll 1 extra. Because I don't have enough dice.
The man comes to the table without enough dice. That is a real noob error, Frank.
I think it was 2 sets I bought, but okay. Right. Stress is good. I have so far 2 successes.
Okay,
what damage that is? 4 damage?
So that's 5 in total. No, you're 4. You're right. It is 4. So you're making good progress. You're making solid progress. It might take you another 2 or 3 rounds to get through it at this rate, but you're making good progress. You do need to make a power roll for your cutting torch, though, Frank.
Mm-hmm. But it had 2 power, you said, right?
Yes.
There are still 2.
Okay. Right, back to the room. As you're watching, one of the covers takes an enormous hit and bends upwards. You can see a little bit of like a gap between it and its seal, but it's not broken off entirely. Another one takes a big hit, which bends, but not as badly. But with the third hole, the one with no cover, this creature climbs out. Like you've got like long arthropod-like claws, reach out, grab the outside, pull itself up. One reaches up to grab the drill in the ceiling, and it pulls itself out of that, and it's sniffs around the room in a strange alien kind of way, but not that kind of alien.
It doesn't get a chance to sniff around the room. We're blasting it in Overwatch,
and you get your Overwatch, yes.
How does a crab sniff?
We're not gonna pause like to find out. Right, my ranged combat is 5 plus 1 dice.
So make a roll then, Matthew.
1 hit.
Okay, and damage from the pulse rifle?
Actually, I should have... that's fine. That's 2 damage.
Okay, you're not pushing or anything?
I don't... Oh, no, I don't think so.
No, okay. Right, so
every bullet is made by a wife of the revolution. We can't afford to waste their work.
Some of the blast definitely seems to bounce off its carapace, but you do think you've done some damage to it. Okay, we'll do the Marines in a moment. Tony.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot. In fact, I'm going to full auto.
Oh, this early.
Okay.
Well,
go for it.
Remember, we've only got 1 reload.
Dave
doesn't empty a clip in this game, unless you roll a 1.
Dave isn't playing, so he can't full auto. So his brother is doing it for him.
That's my boy. You know,
we're in compression suit, so that's -2 on agility, isn't it?
It's -1.
-1. So my range combat is 2. So it's -1. I get 1 bonus for the weapon, and I get 2 bonus for the full auto. And I've got 1 stress already, and I take 1 more stress of full auto, which I take immediately and use in this
one. Absolutely.
So it gives me more than like 1
vague handful of dice.
So that's 2 successes.
No panics?
No panic.
Okay.
So it's 2 damage. So that's with 2 successes. That's
3 damage.
3 damage.
Okay. Again, you gave it a good hit, but definitely some of that didn't get through its carapace. The Marines are all opening up on it. I'm just going to. Okay, they fire. Let's see. Okay, none of them panic. And they all okay. They open up on it. They seem to have done some damage to it, but not finishing it off.
Wow. And you full auto, Tony? I mean, Dimitri?
I did.
Bloody hell.
These things look.
But at least it hasn't got acid blood, eh? You know.
You
Be
think?
thankful for small mercies.
There's no. Yeah, it's slightly different. It's paint splash for this one. Okay, so it's the next round. So the Marines get to fire first. So they'll do the same again because they're on 1s. You can tell that they are frightened of this thing. They've obviously fought these things before, but they're like, ah, and keep on firing. Okay. Right, Bedford's gun runs out of ammo as he fires. And they do a couple of points of damage. It's still up. It's obviously badly hurt now, but it's still on its claws. Matthew, you're on 2s.
Right. Well, I'll do the same again, but I'm not full autoing. Oh no. So remind me, what's the issue with full auto?
You gain a point of stress, basically.
And
plus 2.
Plus 2. No, I'm not full autoing then. I get 1 point of 1 hit, which is 2 points of damage.
And no panics.
No panics. Armor piercing.
Okay. Right. It shrugs that off completely.
Bloody hell.
Frank, you're on 4s.
Yeah, let's have another go. I found another die.
And
so
Campbell, are you going to help again?
Yeah, I am.
One of them fell off the table. Hang on. And again.
And another one.
Where'd it go? It was a 6, but it doesn't count on the floor. So that's 2 successes. And the power roll. You wanted to
make another power roll, so that's another 4 points of damage.
Power goes down to 1.
Okay, your power goes down to 1, but if you do the same again, you think you're pretty much all the way around, but you've just got to finish it off. If you can do the same again next time, you're
getting there.
Through.
Otherwise, just headbutt it until it goes.
Tony, it's your action on 5s.
I'm gonna full auto again on this thing.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, okay, I get 2 successes, but also a panic.
Okay, you've emptied your clip.
Yep.
For all your stress.
A panic is 8.
Okay, you tremble. All skill rolls using agility suffer -2 dice.
That's to a minimum of 1.
Yes, I'll give you to a minimum of 1.
Okay.
Did you hit?
Yeah, 2 successes, so another 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay, that gets through, and the creature kind of staggers and stumbles and falls back. It simply means it doesn't get its attack on you, as the one behind it climbs out. The cap next to it that was already broken a bit flies off as another one kind of puts both its front pinches through it. And the third cap, which was broken, dented, gets another severe dent on it, but it's not gone yet. So there's now
Campbell,
a dead one.
we need you.
There's a dead one on the floor. There is one that's just crawled out and is looking at you all in a particularly menacing way. And there is one that is still in the hole, but is free to come out next round.
Campbell, I've got this. Go and help them.
Okay.
So anyway, ones. It's the Marines. There's only 2 Marines left with any ammo. Bayford is looking around. He's going, ammo, knowing full well that he doesn't have any more.
And
for a clip of ammo.
Is there any compatibility between UPP weapons and US Marine Corps weapons?
7.6.
These aren't really pulse rifles. These are the UPP versions, the AK.
Yeah,
40,
these are better metric pulse rifles. They're still using Imperial methods.
But the rules as written doesn't have them as armor piercing, but I think they probably should be. So I've been nice to you UPP guys.
Okay. You could have just not had the crab creatures with like the carapace, and then that would have
I could have. I rolled them up randomly with my random creature creator stuff that I've done.
Okay.
So, as I've done with all of the creatures in this, they've all been rolled up completely randomly.
Well, even the shrimp ants.
Even the shrimp ants.
Even the shrimp ants.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And their little helpers. So anyway, they miss. 2s. It's your action, Matt.
Right. They're on 1s. Oh no, the Marines miss. Shit.
The Marines miss. Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking stress. I'm re-rolling. Oh, that's better. 1 stress for 3 points. 3 on my panic roll, but also 3 successes.
Okay, so that's 4 points of damage. You have emptied your clip, Matt, with your stress die.
Okay, I have a fast action here, don't I?
Yeah.
3 clip, and I have 1 more clip.
And this is your last reload, yeah, but you can reload. That's a big hit. That one that was standing up there is you've definitely given it a really solid hit. You must have hit a weak point or something, and it's staggering quite badly already. Frank.
Into the one behind it. Knocking them over. Damn it.
Try it again.
Are you getting a dice of help from Campbell, or Campbell, are you running to help?
I've heard the call, even though it was out of turn. I've heard the call, and on my turn, I will be making my way to shoot. Although I've still got to get past the airlock. So.
The airlock, yeah.
2 successes.
You cycled the airlock, did you? Damn it.
Yes.
So that's 4 damage. Frank, yes. So, okay, that's enough. You get to the final bit and you can push a panel out and squeeze through.
And I do that. I also roll power, and I still have 1 power left.
Okay, but that'll be your next action. So, actually, you've got a fast action, so you could probably squeeze through straight away.
Step in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Campbell's of 2 minds now.
But I've got a cutting torch in front of me in case something jumps me.
Okay, Tony, it's your action.
I'm reloading.
Yep.
My pulse
Which is I think, is that a fast or a slow action?
No, it's a slow action.
Okay, so Matt, you couldn't reload actually. So did you want to do something else with your?
Okay. No, I will maybe retreat a little bit behind the Marines.
Okay, you can do that. Yep. Tony, yeah, it's all right. So you reload.
Yeah.
And you still have a fast action if you wanted to do something else.
So shooting is a slow action, isn't it, as well?
Yes.
So. Well, I guess I can Overwatch again, can't I? It's a fast action.
So I'm not sure I'm going to allow overwatching in the middle of combat.
Okay. In that case,
because basically it means you shoot and then you overwatch, which means you then shoot before anybody does anything else.
Yeah.
And then you overwatch and then you shoot. So basically destroys initiative. So I'm not going to let you do that in this situation.
Okay, I'm probably not going to do anything then. That's my fast action now.
Yeah, okay.
Reserve it for a dodge.
Yeah, you might need that. So it's their action. So there's 2 of them. Now, Matthew, you've retreated a little bit. like the hero that Inspector Shue is.
Hey,
These
are professional soldiers. I'm just a policeman.
So, 1 Tony, or 1, 2, 3 is one of the Marines. 4 is Tony. 5 is Matthew, and a 6. I'll re-roll again, but it won't include Matthew. So it's a 5.
Fuck you.
It is honestly a 5. I just rolled it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'll believe you.
So the one that you've just blasted, you just blasted, obviously sees you as the threat.
Yeah.
And it's coming for you. So would you like to roll for the signature attack as it's pushing its way past the other Marines to get to you?
And that's a D6.
Just a D6.
Oh, it's a 6. Hooray!
No, well, this isn't necessary in horror order.
Okay.
So,
not necessarily, but it is in deadliness order, I'm sure.
No, not necessarily. No, because these are randomly rolled.
Okay,
so
right.
It's a random set of stuff. So it's making a grapple attack against you. You don't have a fast action to try and dodge it, and it grapples with a lot of dice. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Okay, basically, it's grabbed you with its front claws. It's kind of holding you inside its. I guess there's maybe a crease inside its like front breastplate, and it's squashing you into that. There might even be some little spikes there that it's squeezing you into, and you can tell that if it keeps squeezing you like this, you're not going to last very long.
Okay.
The other one launches out of the hole and goes for one of the others. What number did I say for you, Tone?
I can't remember.
4.
Okay.
4.
Was it 4? Okay.
Got 4.
1, 2, 3 Marines.
No, it goes for one of the Marines. Yeah, it goes for one. Okay, so it's going for the sergeant. Would somebody like to roll its signature attack on the sergeant?
Tony? I wouldn't want all the fun.
Go on then. It's 2.
2. Okay, this thing lumbers up to the soldier, almost looking a bit like a kind of a punch-drunk boxer, and with one of its huge front claws, it just swats. It swats the sergeant, and it. Basically, she is lifted off her feet and she flies across the room and lands in a crumpled heap on the far side of the room.
Ooh.
Jonathan, it's your action.
Campbell doesn't know the specifics of what's just happened.
No.
That Shue is grappled, that a Marine's been tossed across, and the opening to the control center has been his goal the entire time.
Alrighty.
So I'm going to play into that, and he's not going to go and help.
You're following Prishka.
I'm following Prushka.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can do that and get into the control center.
Yeah.
Okay, next round.
Have to kill him, Oscar.
Okay, so there's one Marine left with ammo. Bayford runs over to his sergeant to try and see if he can help her. She's trying to
get a clip off her.
Groggily, I don't think they've got so much ammo left is the problem. But
pick up her rifle.
But you've got the other guy who's shooting at the one. I think they've seen what these things could do, and he's going to shoot at the one on you, Matthew.
Okay.
Okay, he hits with 1 success. But the armor takes it. So you can feel the bullets coming off this thing. But yeah, your action, Matt.
Right, what can I do?
You can try and break the grapple, which will be an opposed close combat roll. But this creature feels you could tell when it grabbed you, the strength and it's got all these tiny little spikes and stuff. It's grabbed you very, very. It's grabbed you like somebody with 11 dice in close combat.
Right. So okay, I have 4, but I do have 2 dice of stress, which I may stress out some more on this one. I also have this subdue talent, which is +2 on grappling. Normally,
you need to make a very strong case that this works on a 2.5 meter size crab, Matt, rather than a person.
Of course, my training for the subdue talent is knowing how people can wriggle out of these things. So,
okay, I'll give you that. It's quite harsh. If you get that talent, then I don't allow you to use it.
Well, I mean, it is really for I get 1
subduing people.
So I can't re-roll if I've got a panic on the first.
No, you can't.
Well, I have 1 success and a panic.
Okay.
Which gives me a panic of 8.
8. You start to tremble. Agility rolls are at -2, and you panic because as you try, you think you're just about to get out of it, but then you just feel it squeeze a bit more tightly, and you know that wasn't enough to break the grip. Toad. No, Prishka. Prishka, your action.
Right. Do I see Ash coming after me already or not yet?
Yes, Ash has followed you through the hole in the wall.
Right. Putting the cutting torch down and picking up my cattle prod, I just say, just so we are clear, this is a UPP station. And everything that's in this room is UPP and you don't touch it.
You can have your action now, John. Go on.
Thanks.
We'll do it.
The people, Oscar.
I am going to use my talent, which is take control, which lets me says, you know how to make people do what you want, and you don't feel bad about doing it. You can roll manipulation using wits instead of empathy, which gives me an extra die.
I want that talent.
And I'm going to counter what he says with yes, this is a UPP station, and yes, it's UPP property, as it were.
Glad you agree.
But I am of more use in this moment helping you retrieve things than not.
I don't know. I think you could be useful shooting the crab that's
Shooting
thing
thing.
to death.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should make sure that we have a way out of here. That's what you're used for that.
Okay, so Jonathan has done that, though. So it's an opposed manipulation roll. Jonathan, you can use your talent. Oscar, it's manipulation for you.
Oh, dear. Would you like to help me, Campbell? I have got a cattle prod. That should at least be +1.
Well, let's see. No, but let's see what happens when so if it's equal, Ash has failed. So it's 1 success for Prishka.
1 success and 3 dice. I'm pleased with
I am pushing because I got nothing.
Take a stress.
Taking a
This
stress.
little standoff with Prishka's cattle rod through 6 inches from your nose is a stressful moment.
That's better. 2 successes.
Okay, so Prishka, you have the option now. You don't have to do what he says, but if you don't do what he says, you're going to have to hit him.
So far, he hasn't said anything. He just said he would be more use in here. He didn't give me an order or anything.
Well, he's trying to manipulate you to let him be with you and be involved in retrieving stuff. So you are now going to let him be involved in retrieving stuff unless you choose not to, in which case you have to hit him with your stick.
All right, I let him be involved in retrieving stuff. That's fine. As
Okay.
long as we're retrieving it and he's not destroying it.
Oh,
Okay.
good grief, no. Why would I want to destroy
Because
anything?
he doesn't have a way off the station without me. He doesn't know the code for the dipper.
Okay, back to the action in the other room. Ivanovsky, it's your action.
Well, I guess I will shoot the one that's grappling Inspector Shu. Is there a risk of hitting Inspector Shu?
No.
Yes, there is.
Really.
But just shoot.
Not really. Not in the mechanics.
Shoot. I'm not
protected by the crab's armor, for fuck's sake.
You are, yeah.
Okay, I'll shoot the crab that is grappling Inspector Shu. I'm not full autoing this time.
Yeah, okay.
So I have more stress dice than actual dice.
It doesn't bode well.
I get 1 success and no panic. So it's 2 damage.
2 damage. So it has 1 point of hit points left, but it has 4 armor with your armor piercing. That was 2 damage, was it, Tone?
2 damage, yes.
Or it mitigates 1, but 1 gets through. Matt, you get this spurt of crab blood coming down your visor. It relaxes and it drops you as it falls to the side. But there is another one in here, and in effect, there are 2 people who are within its range. The Marine and Ivanovsky. So 1, 2, 3 is going for the Marine. It's a 5.
Oh.
It's going for Ivanovsky. So Tone, it's coming for you. So I need you to make a roll, please, for the signature attack.
Oh dear. It is 5.
5. Okay, it comes towards you, and it kind of it doesn't attack instantly. It circles you. It's sizing you up. It's looking at you. It's a terrifying moment. You must make a panic roll.
Okay. Oh. That's 8, which is what I've already got, which
So
basically goes up to 9.
So you drop your rifle. In the fear and the stress of the moment, you drop your rifle.
Well, I'm not a fighter. I'm not used to this rubbish.
Your stress level goes up by 1 as well.
Okay.
Next round. So the Marine is going to have a shot. He hits. He does a bit of damage to it. It's not a terrible hit, but he hits. But also, he's got a stress. Click. He's
runs out of ammo.
His Corporal Christensen's run out of ammo. 2s. Matthew, it's your action.
Right, I'm 2 down because I'm trembling.
Yep.
On this.
You're also 1 down for your compression suit as well.
I full auto is where I'm going to go with this one. So I'm taking an extra stress die. And I panic, so I won't be able to re-roll that, and I fucking miss.
And you've emptied your clip.
And I only get 5 on the panic.
Okay, so you're okay, but you've emptied your clip and you miss. Okay, back to Prishka and Campbell. What are you doing, guys? Frank, you're first.
I'll try to locate whatever data there might be in the repository. And
There is
it.
There is a computer core here that you can remove.
Can I just grab it, or is it a job of opening panels, taking screws out?
I think it is probably a couple of rounds of work. I don't think it's going to require a roll, but it will be, opening up a panel, unscrewing some bits, and then pulling the thing out of its I guess it's port. I guess is the right word.
Right. You want to help? Then help.
Yeah. All right. I'm helping.
Okay. So I think together you can get it out by the end of this round.
Okay.
There you go, cooperation. But who ends up with it? That's the question.
I think both of you make a mobility roll.
Mobility.
Yeah. Tell me how many successes you get.
I have to first find it. Oh, there. Oh.
You can push this if you wish.
I will push.
Me too.
Take a point of stress.
Yeah, done.
Okay. How many, John?
3 successes.
3.
1.
Okay. So after your frantic 5 or 10 seconds of working here, it comes out, and Campbell is the one with his hand on the handle as he pulls it out. And he has this box, which is about the size of a shoebox, I guess, but with a handle on the top. And Campbell has it in his hand. Back to the other room. Ivanovsky, it's your action. Tone.
Okay. I will shoot the remaining thingy.
Yep.
Is there just one left up now?
There is just one left up, yeah.
I will shoot again. I'm not full autoing.
Okay.
I get 1 success, no panic.
Okay, that's 2 damage.
2 damage.
Okay, doesn't mitigate any of that. It's quite badly wounded now. Its action, I think it's going to have one last-ditch go, and it's going to go for you, Tone.
Okay.
Having stalked you. Signature attack?
It is 6. That's pretty bad, isn't it?
6.
No, that's the one. That's the grapple. I rolled that.
So it's trying to immobilize you. So you can try and dodge it if you've got a fast action left.
I think I have, because all I did was shoot.
Yep. So say it's an opposed attack. 11 dice, and it misses. So okay, yeah, it misses you, Tone. With its fast action, it decides that discretion is the better part of valor, and it heads back to the thing and scuttles down the tube.
Said Dave at 2 minutes to 11.
I know. Being a GM with a hard deadline is fucking hard work sometimes. Only got 1 hit point left, so it's a fair call.
I have got a pistol, and I'm remembering that we don't have water here, so I was about to pull that out, but
no, it's gone. Okay, the fight is over. Prishka and Campbell, you're stood facing one another with Campbell holding this computer core.
So, come on, let me hold it. You need the weapon.
I've got it. Holding it in one hand. And then in the other, I've got the pulse rifle, just kind of like holstered. It's strapped over there. I've got the pulse rifle. I'm Ellen Ripley, like Aliens, holding Newt, pulse rifle / flamethrower thing in the other. So I'm holding the box under my arm. I've got the pulse rifle. I'm ready. I'm like, come on, Oscar, let's go. It's all right, mate. I got this.
After you then.
So I'll head out. Sorry.
Yeah, after you. Let's get back to the others quickly. I'm happy to head out.
Okay. It's 11 o'clock now. Unless you wanted to do anything else, like shoot Campbell in the back, Frank.
No, but I was hoping that we enter the other room. Yeah, we've got 2 other UPPs there.
Yeah, you get to the
and
other
I would
room.
just say, look, we found the computer core. And read the situation. I was going to possibly not shoot him. That's not my style. But catapult him in the back. So he drops something. But only if I reckon that the situation in the main room there is safe enough to down him rather than do anything else.
I will have I would have been getting my pistol out of my its waterproof holster.
Yeah, I'll pick up my pulse rifle again.
Yep.
Campbell, fully ready to take the shock and drop the core down a shaft. Kind of stepping out and just kind of holding it over and being like, no.
What are you doing, Campbell? We're all working together in this, aren't we? Surely.
Yeah.
Let me take that. I'm the scientist. I
would think we were all working together, but Oscar here had his hand on the cattle prod and insisted I moved first, which I was okay with because I suspected something was going to happen. Still holding it over one of the things. And
I'm sure you're misinterpreting what Oscar was intending.
Look, you had the weapon. You needed to get into the room first. Clear the path.
What I'm holding here has been the purpose of admittedly, secondary purpose of why we were here. We were told to reclaim.
On.
We were told to come and reclaim
secondary
bodies.
Instructions to pick this computer
without our knowledge.
Without our knowledge, it would have been a lot easier if your LaSalle colleagues had told us all that this bit of technology was a vital bit of data that had to be saved. Had to be saved or had to be destroyed? Because I see you're about to throw it down.
I don't want to destroy it, but it seems useful here. Oscar,
you know what else is useful? To have a ride out of this place.
Oscar was willing to do harm to me for this.
Sorry, can I just briefly pause? Dave, how many Marines are still alive?
They're all alive. The sergeant was broken, but is alive. There's 3 of them.
I look at the inspector, see whether he's winking at me behind his faceplate.
I kind of want to go.
I'm just going to leave you
they
to
always
chat for
have
a moment, guys, because I do need to pop off for 2 seconds.
Right.
We won't be long. Another 5 minutes. I'm sure we'll see the end of this.
Yeah.
But I'll be right back.
You'll never see the end of this.
Ash, we have ourselves as an impasse here. You're threatening to either destroy or confiscate UPP property, which I must admit I'm intrigued about what LaSalle have hidden on this drive, since I think we were come here to investigate the signal and rescue these Marines, it turns out. But you had an ulterior motive.
It's only ulterior in that it was further down the line.
This is why you didn't come when we asked for your help and your excellent.
We were fighting for our lives against these creatures. Your secondary objective was
10 seconds. 10 seconds before. 10 seconds before, or 20 seconds, whatever it is.
Long enough. You just come and help.
I've got
fight for our lives.
I've got my hands on a data core here of something that the UPP has been working on that LaSalle has had no knowledge of whatsoever. And this is a shared expedition. This colony is a shared it's a joint venture. And thus far, I feel like there has been nothing but tension. And I know that this is only escalating things. But whatever is on here, it may be innocuous. But for the sake of my employers and for the benefit of the company as a whole, LaSalle would like to see what the UPP has been doing in this outpost without LaSalle's input.
I take my helmet off and I light my cigarette, which is my removing a removes a stress point. It's just nice though. And I say, we are here to save lives. It turns out we're here to save American lives. There will be a prisoner exchange, I'm sure. Whatever you do, throw that evidence of what went on here down the shaft. You're not going to do that, are you?
Well, at the risk of being attacked myself.
I don't think anybody here is saying they're going to attack you.
That's the key word for the attack, isn't it?
We've got problems. We've got to get out there. We've got to find 3 compression suits for these Marines. And we've got to get them out of this place. And these crabs could attack at any time.
I have a pulse rifle with a full reload. You are welcome to cycle the airlock and go and get those compression suits. And I will look after this space and the data.
You'll need 2 hands for that pulse rifle there, won't you?
He's getting cocky. Like he's more cocky than a company man should be holding a pulse rifle. It's like, I've got this. You go get those compression suits. And then at the end of this, we'll crack open a bottle of Hague.
Johnny Walker Black Label, I think you'll find.
Oh, yeah, whatever. We'll crack open that bottle of Johnny Walker Black Label, and we can share that. I'm absolutely okay with that. This is a hiccup, but in all honesty, man, work is tough. Work is hard. They ask a lot of me right now, and this is the most they've ever asked of me, and I am not going to let them down.
All right, I'm just raising a questioning eyebrow at the inspector at this point.
Have I lost my tremble now?
I think you've lost your tremble. It's far enough since the fight. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I flick the half-smoked fag down the hole and nod at Oscar.
Okay, I'm going to prod him. That's too much talking. It's just.
And I'm going to make a save on the.
Okay. I'm gonna let Campbell have an observation roll. If you succeed, you can oppose that.
Okay. Observation is 7 plus that. Two successes.
Okay, so you can try and dodge that if you want. So it's an opposed close combat roll instead of just a straight roll.
Okay.
But Oscar, yeah, you get your attack. Okay.
I've got one success and a panic. That panic is an 8.
Not a 9. Drop item.
No. No, it's 8. an 8.
To tremble, you start to tremble. All your skill rolls are with agility are at -2. Oscar got 2 successes, so that's a hit. Right, Frank, what does your stun weapon do?
I have no idea. I just put down kettle prod. That was one of my starter kit things.
Stun baton.
Stun baton, I guess. Yeah.
Do I have it on there? No, I don't have it on my handy little sheet.
I think.
Do you think? Is it going to be
and engaged? I think that's it.
Is it going to be on here? Switch the lights off so I can't see it properly. Can't run, crawl, walk. No, it's not on here.
So stun button. Okay.
+1 on the roll,
Right, so it has a stun effect. So John, you're effectively stunned for 1 round as a result of that.
Okay.
So I think the blast gets you. You kind of like probably stumble to your knees as a result of the shock.
Can I will go to help him using my subdue talent
to help him up.
Whilst he's stunned, he's vulnerable, so you get +3, Matt.
Yeah.
This isn't opposed, is it?
No, you're stunned.
No, because I'm stunned.
Yeah.
And I get 2 successes and no panics.
Yeah. Okay. So you've subdued Campbell and got him in a half Nelson or something.
Dimitri, I think you need to retrieve that data core.
I think you can do that. Yeah.
Yep, I will go and retrieve the data.
Right. Now we've all calmed down. Maybe Campbell can have a lift back on the.
Why don't you and I go and get those suits, Campbell?
After putting up a bit of a struggle, Campbell relents.
Hallelujah.
Discretion is the better part of valor and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Unless you're planning any other shenanigans, anybody, seeing it's 11:10, we can narrate the end of this. You do get 3 suits. The Marines are suited up. You could take them back to Solovetski Island.
Obviously, depriving them of their pulse rifles.
Yeah, that's
any
that's
other
fine.
weapons that they might have. They are officially
in
prisoners.
Yep. You do hear more crab-like noises around the place, but you don't come across another one. And you manage to get back to the colony.
Hey.
Yeah. And presumably you give a full report back to Lycanova and Director Senna.
Yeah.
I think Ash might be losing his job, or being demoted somewhere. I think I'm going to roll up a new character, to be honest.
Okay.
It's not bad, is it?
What would have been fun if they'd shoved you down one of those pipes then and left you to
Yeah,
die?
right. I mean, I like since we started this, the 3 or 4 sessions I've been in, I thought, oh yeah, I think I'll have fun with the company agent. I have not had fun with the company agent.
Okay.
So I'm going to use this opportunity to retire Ash Campbell, and I will come up with something else.
Okay, cool. That's fine. I want you to enjoy it. So if you're not enjoying it,
no, it's absolutely fine. This seemed like an appropriate moment to do that.
Yeah.
You did very well.
Yeah.
I just want to say that. You almost won, but I think we outnumbered you.
Yeah.
Yes, if only I had my partner in crime, as it were.
Yes, Will.
Yes, indeed. I know what happened to Will.
Traitor.
Cool. Well, we won't. Seeing we're late, we won't go through experience now, and for another reason, in that Matthew and I on the podcast we're going to record tomorrow are talking about experience questions for Alien campaign games.
Yeah.
So we'll have a new list of questions to go with for this.
It's brilliant, though, because I'm really glad I suggested, have you been squeezed to death by a giant crab monster?
Yes, I did think that was a bit odd at the time when I read that, but
but it all makes perfect sense now.
Cool. Well, brilliant. Well, unless anyone's got anything else, we should probably draw this program to a close. Thank you everyone for watching and commenting. It's half the fun getting all your views and contribution. Thank you very much to my fabulous players. Thank you, Ash. Goodbye, Ash. Look forward to seeing John's new character next time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone.
And see you all in 2 weeks.
Cheers, Dave.
Thanks for running it.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Bye. My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm remembering that I'm the one